Hello and welcome. This is the second part of our special edition coming straight from Harare Sports Club, a club that has seen over 9 decades of legacy. Some of the best matches have been played here, but more importantly, what India stands to gain from here. Well, a quick good news for the Indian fans here. India, after winning this match last night, became joint number 1 in the ICC T20 ranking.
Yep.
If they were to win this match, they will move past England and become number 1 team in the ICC ranking, which is quite satisfying considering that India has lost the series, very bad series against Ireland.
Ireland and England as well.
Yeah.
So, those 2 wins against Zimbabwe, obviously putting them back joint level with England.
That's correct.
Now, I think to anybody who's thinking, the series done and dusted, it's just going to be a casual. India has extra motivation coming into this for a series sweep because that'll take them back to where they were when they won the World Cup, which is the number 1 ranked team in T20. So I expect to see maybe a relatively strong India side. Yes, there had been suggestions, obviously, now with the series already won,
right,
there could be changes. But even if those changes are to be brought in, I still expect India to come out and play aggressive.
That's why we historians and technical scholars talk about cricket in a different way. For the fans, it'll be like yet another win. But for a team dressing room, they'll go for that point, that winning point. More importantly, I'll give you another statistic which is very important to our fans. If India was to be number 1 team in T20 on the December 31st, they automatically qualify for the LA Olympics without even have to go for the qualification. So that's the big part, why you need to be number 1 and why this part is very important. Your views?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, there's a lot of motivation for India. And of course, you still have players in this India side that are still building their international career. So outside of getting the win and putting those team performances in,
right,
they'll want to get on the board. Remember Vaibhav in that first match, he got that monkey off his back, got his first ever T20 international half century. So, Ishan Kishan did quite well. The captain, Shreyas, as well. He'd been coming from injury, he'd been struggling, he hadn't been helping the team in terms of wins. So I think there's still a lot of objectives for the Indian players and the team to achieve. And that's something that Zimbabwe has to be acutely aware of, because they could get a drubbing if they think they're going to have it easy today because India have won the series.
Well, many good things for India has come. They've won the series. Shreyas Iyer, more importantly, has come back into the winning ways. I mean, he's got one of the records of losing the most number of T20
as a captain.
Yeah. In the history of cricket, he's the only skipper who's winning all the tosses and losing all the matches.
So I'm sure you would rather have it the other way around.
Yes.
Lose the toss and win the matches. I think that's a better statistic to have.
Well, absolutely. Well, the parting thought, when we move from here, we're going to talk about the newer people who would come here from the Indian point of view. I mean, which are the talents that attracted you when you look at the Indian part?
I think the 2 Yadavs, I think they've done quite well in terms of their pace and their ability to just bowl beautiful deliveries is also absolutely fantastic from those guys.
Absolutely, Yadav. You also have the resurgent, we have the Indian fans walking in, and the crowd is especially getting after this particular tournament. What do you think of the bands here who've been supporting and promoting?
I think it adds a different vibe and energy and excitement to Zimbabwe, and I think it separates Zimbabwean fans from the fans that you see anywhere else across the world, because I think for years the Castle Corner in particular has been the most popular, and now we've brought in the element of the brass band, which
brass band.
They can go on and on and on, but you have the embarkment there, families are coming out, the VIPs, you've got a big Indian support base here as well, so it creates for an amazing atmosphere for cricket.
Well, the best part is when I look around, it's not just the Zimbabweans, we also have people from Zambia who've driven all the way 11 hours on the stretch to be here. So what it does to your country is beyond sports. It gets you the added revenue. There are hotels, there are travel, there is food, there is hospitality, and the 17 other industries that are benefited. Do you think that's the best part of hosting big matches in Zimbabwe, and you should host more of it?
Well, luckily for us, we're going to be co-hosting the World Cup, so
that's right.
This is sort of like a warm-up for that. But sports tourism is huge, and it's also an opportunity for different mindsets, whether it's people from Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, the region, or even beyond, from India coming here, and cultural exchange as well, sharing ideas and just growing. So absolutely fantastic. It's a nice dress rehearsal, especially with what's happening in 2027. Harare Sports Club, Queen Sports Club, and the new venue in Victoria Falls will be hosting matches. So yeah, there's so much to look forward from a Zimbabwean perspective.
Of course, we're going to be taking you to Victoria Falls' new stadium on road to see what it stands and what it looks like. Of course, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. You've got to see that. But coming back, when the India, in entire 20 years of your sports journalism, when you look back, Mr. T, what is the difference between an India series and a series from, let's say, a Bangladesh? What is the difference between anywhere? What is the comparison?
The magnitude, I think you can't compare it to anything because, first of all, India, with its 4 billion people, I mean, the market that you're sort of feeding into is unparalleled. And it's not just, I don't think it's unique to Zimbabwe. I think even when you look at South Africa, England, or even Australia, everybody loves having India tour because of one, the eyeballs that are there, the money that is associated with that. And it helps us all that they're arguably the best team in the world, especially in the T20 format, having won the World Cup at the top of the year and having some of the best players. And for Zimbabwean fans in particular, I think it's exciting because you'll see players like Vaibhav on TV, and then you come here in your own backyard, you can see them up close and personal, and that's a unique experience.
Well, absolutely. Parting words, what are your takeaways from the series for Zimbabwe?
I think Zimbabwe, it's the same problems that we've had for years, which is issues with our betting, especially at the top order. And it's not just restricted to T20s, across all formats. At most, we only ever have 1 or 2 bettors coming to the party. In the first T20, I think we saw Madewere and Marumani, and then yesterday we saw Bennett coming to the party, but we never seem to have consistency across the betting order. So that's something that the selectors, the coaches, they have to think about. I don't know whether it's a mindset thing. I believe the players have the talent. Sometimes it's the pressure, sometimes it's the decision making. So if Zimbabwe want to get something out of it, I still maintain the bowlers have to perform well, but we need the batters to help them put up a decent enough score if they're going to defend it, or to be able to chase something if they restrict India.
Well, there you heard it from the expert himself, from the Zimbabwean sports ecosystem, Mr. Tich, talking about the nuances of what it takes to beat a side like India. Well, that's all we had time for. We'll come back after the series is through, after the presentation ceremony, and see what had in store for us. Thank you, Mr. Tich, for your wonderful time and insights.
Oh, absolutely fantastic.